Welcome my dears in this very interesting tutorial. This time we will create together and step by step this great range car flyer using Photoshop. In this lesson you will learn and master different Photoshop tools and multiple image editing techniques. Before we begin, if you don't have the Adobe Photoshop installed in your machine, I place the link in the description below where you can download the last version of Adobe Photoshop for free. And if you have any problem installing the software or applying today's lesson, just leave me a comment and I will reply to help you. So let's get started. So the first thing we are going to do is create a new blank document with the A5 dimensions like you will see now. File, new. We will choose 21 centimeter for 13 centimeter and we click create. So the first thing we are going to do is create a new blank layer, and we will use this pen tool to determine the area, the first area of our design. So we try to put the points with the pen tool to make this shape, this kind of shape. So we will place the fourth point here, the fifth point here, and the last one. So we will choose this black color for this shape. Just for the moment, Ctrl T from the keyboard to transform the shape and make it a little bigger. We create a new layer now, and we will use the same tool, the pen tool, to create the second shape. Like this, we put the first point here, the second one here, right? We move. So we will put the second point here. We will using the Ctrl K from the keyboard, we move it a little to the bottom, and the third one here, like this. We will change the color of the shape to, we will make a little zoom out. So we will continue. We will make a point here with the pen tool, like you will see, a point here and another one here. And for the color we will use, for example, for now we will use a red color, just to make the shapes visible. We choose this black and red color, but after that we will change these colors to the colors we will use on our flyer, just to make the layers and the shapes visible. We use this kind of coloring now with this manner here, like you can notice. So now we will change the color of this third layer and third shape to the blue, like this. So now these are the colors we will use. So for the black shape we will use this blue one. For the second shape, which is in the red, we will use this green one, and for the last shape we will use this the same green color we used, this one here, we use it. Okay, that's fine now. So we create a new layer. We will use the pen tool to create our fourth shape. So the first point here, the second one as the top of it, the third one here, and this is the last point. Like this, we will create this kind of shape. So we will add these 2 points to have this design like this. So we will change the color so we will use the same color, the green one, like you will notice here, with this manner. So like you can see, we get this very wonderful design. Very good. So we will try to move the layer and make it as the bottom of the layers, the previous layers, to make my design looks wonderful. Try to move it like this. So we try to, like you can see, you can make any layer visible at any time. So now we will choose this layer and we will apply a drop shadow effect. We will use the drop shadow effects here. So these are the adjustments we will use for our drop shadow effects. So we can change the opacity. You have to be careful while editing these adjustments. Just choose the adjustments I am choosing on my design. So we will adjust the drop shadow effect, which will give us more realistic and which will make our design more realistic and more great, of course. Like you can notice, this is the effects of the drop shadow. So we will make the same effects. So we go to copy layer style and we will paste the layer style on this second layer. Like you can see, we get the same effect. So all we will do is we will try to select the effects here for the second layer, and we will minimize a little the opacity to make it looks different from the other one. Like you can see, the two layers have the same effects, but they are not similar in terms of effects because we change a little the opacity. So now we will try to use a car image to make it in the first area. So I think we will use this. We will use this blue car. We will use this blue car. So be attentive to the manner we will use. So we use the move tool. We place the car here. So after that, we try to use clip and mask with this manner. So like you can see, the car now is a clip and mask for the first area and the first shape with the blue color. We create the first area we create. So we use Ctrl T from the keyboard to resize the image, and after that, after making it a little bigger like this, we try to make it just like this. So like you can see, the image still in the same area in the shape and take its place exactly in the shape, because we create a clip and mask. We make the image a clip and mask for the shape. So we try to move it until we are satisfied with the results. So we will try to make it a little smaller. We move it to the right like this until the car is visible, is entirely visible. So we use Ctrl T to show these transformation points to resize the image, like you can see. So we come back to the background, we create a new layer, and we will add a gradient overlay to this layer, which will be our background. So for the gradient layer, for the first color, we will choose this gray color. For the last color, we will choose, of course, this blue color, and as the middle, in the middle we will try to add a third color. So I don't think So we will use just these two colors, the gray and the blue. And now, like you can see, this is the gradient color applied on the background on the layer. We have now a gradient overlay. We will create a new layer, a new empty one, and we will use the brush tool. Just be careful with me, step by step. We will make the size of the brush more bigger, and be careful because we use a soft round brush and not a hard round. Like you can see, we have used a soft round brush. This is the soft round brush. We make the opacity something like 80 or 75 with the white color. We click one click to get this light effect. So Ctrl Z to return back. So I try to make the size more bigger, and just one click, like you can see, we get this light effect. We go to opacity and we make the effect less visible to not exaggerate and to be handy with our design, like you can see here. So with this manner, so we create a text layer now. So this will be our text layer. So we will write, for example, new models 25% discount. We select the text. So we write our text like you can see here, and we will try to change the font type. We will change the size. We will change the smooth of the text, and of course the color. And of course the space, we will change the space between lines in this paragraph. So like you can notice, we will change so many things in the text edits. I will pass very quickly in this part because it's not so much to see here, just text editing that you can do very easily. So you can change, of course, the size, the fonts, the type fonts, the color, and so many text adjustments, of course. So we continue editing the text. We will try to make the 25 number more visible because it has a very huge impact in our flyer, the 25% discount, of course. So now we will apply a gradient overlay for the text. We will choose 3 colors for the gradient overlay, the white one and 2 yellow colors, 2 yellow gradients. And like you can see, we will edit a little the gradients like this to have this very wonderful effect on the text. A very gradient overlay, wonderful effect on the text, like you can see. So we apply the effects, the gradient overlay with the 3 colors, and the adjustment you have just see. We try to adjust the space between the lines of the paragraph, of course, and I will duplicate the text layer. I create a new copy from the text. So I will try to push the text a little to the right. Change the size. I am not satisfied with the size. I will change it. So we continue editing the text, like you can notice. So we will change the size another time. Click OK. and we will use the move tool to position our text in the right place. So we create another copy from the text using Ctrl G from the keyboard. We can create another copy. We will change the text to our services as a title, and we will write the cars models we have in this rent care agency. So we write all the cars models, and we change the size of the text. We will change the spacements between the lines like this, and we make it more smaller using Ctrl T from the keyboard. And we select the title text, and we will change its color to a clear yellow to be clearly visible like this. So for now we will use a circle, an ellipse. We create an ellipse holding the shift key from the keyboard like this. We will change its color to the yellow one. It will be playing the role as a menu for our cars models we have here. So we push and we move the circle and we place it here, so we will make zoom in to see exactly what we have to do in these parts. So using Ctrl T from the keyboard, we resize the circle, we make it more smaller to be accurate with our text. And we navigate in the layers panel. So we will try to find the text layer, this one here, and this one here. We will select the text and we will move the whole things with the move tool, and we will place it here, and we will come back now to the circle. We will place the text first like this, and of course we come back to the circle and we will place it in the right position. This is our ellipse. We position it and we place it exactly in the same line at the text. We create a new copy from it using Ctrl G from the keyboard. The same thing here, we create a third copy and a fourth copy, and of course a last copy using the same technique, Ctrl G from the keyboard. And like you can see, we keep the same distance between each circle. Now we will use this car, so we move it from this image and we place it here. So the first thing, we place our car, our layer car, as the top of all the layers here, and we will apply this layer mask first and convert the image to a smart object. And after that, using Ctrl T from the keyboard, I will resize it and make it more smaller, of course, and I will move it and place it in the right place like this. Very good for now. So we continue resizing the image, make it more smaller to look accurate with our design. That's fine now. So with the same technique, we will move this other car. We apply the layer mask, and using the move tool, we move the layer car and place it here. After that, convert it to a smart object, and after that, of course, like we did every time, resizing the image using the Ctrl T from the keyboard. Of course, converting the image first to a smart object is a very important technique, because to keep the quality and the right dimensions to make the image looks great even when you make it smaller or make it bigger. Alright, and we continue. So we will try to move the white car to the bottom and replace it with the other car. I think we should make the white one more bigger, because I think it is so small for the first one, so we will come back here and make it a little bigger using Ctrl T from the keyboard. We click OK. So for now I will add a text layer, a new text layer. I will write a paragraph. Just for an advice, if you are typing text in your flyer, just keep in mind to choose just 2 different fonts and not many, because using many kinds of fonts in the same flyer make things not looks professional. So I advise you to use just 2 to 3 maximum fonts in your design and in your artwork. So we choose a color for the text like this, and this one I will choose the white color, of course, to look clearly in this gray blue background. So I will choose for this a white color. So I will duplicate the text another time using Ctrl G from the keyboard, or I think I will create a new layer text, and it will be for a paragraph. So I will choose a regular font. For the color, of course, I will use the white color, of course, and maybe I will choose another font this time. And of course I choose the smooth mode of the text, and using the move tool I will position my text to the right place. I will of course minimize the size and minimize the space between the lines like this. It should not have so many space between the lines. And I think now my paragraph looks great. I will remove some sentences, because this kind of paragraphs or flyers or designs shouldn't have so many texture and so many phrases. Just 2 or 3 phrases are enough to show what it's all about. So I will resize the text layer using Ctrl T another time from the keyboard. I will position it here, and I will create a second copy from it using Ctrl G from the keyboard. I selection the 2 layers another time, and I will move them. So I come back here, I select the text layers, all the text layers together. Using the Ctrl key from the keyboard, I place these 2 layers until I am sure that they have the same level horizontally with the first paragraph. They should have the same level horizontally, of course. So now I will change this text to About Us. I create a second copy from the About Us text. and I move it to the top of the paragraph layer, and I will move it and place it here. So here I will write, for example, colas to insert, and the phone number, of course, a very important and crucial information in our design, of course, the phone number, because you know this is a commercial flyer. So we will try to make the phone number visible and very clear with a very important color. We choose, of course, a yellow, a very hard yellow, of course. It should be so visible, and we will try to edit the size and make it more clear and more bigger, especially the phone number. I will move it now first to the right. I will select the phone number text and make it more visible, add in a little size, of course. So I will select the text and I will add more size like this, and I think maybe if we add some hard yellow to it, it will be more visible. But if you think it's okay, it's of course enough. So I think I will let the text at this level, and I will try to add a little space between the lines like this. Place it here. I'm trying to find the handy position for my text. I close the panel, and now I will create a rectangle. I will create this kind of square rectangle, and I will change its color to this green one I used already in all my design. So I will choose this green color, I will click OK, and for now I will use Ctrl+C from the keyboard to transform a little. First I create a copy using Ctrl+G from the keyboard, and I will use the Ctrl key from the keyboard to make this little inclination. Using Ctrl+T from the keyboard, I can get this kind of inclination, and I will, like this, using Ctrl+T from the keyboard, I am transforming the two rectangles to get my design, to get what I am searching for. I will move it a little to the left like this. I think now it's okay, just a little bit. I will try to make it more smaller to not occupy a lot of space in my design, in my flyer, of course. I select the two rectangles and I push them a little to the bottom, and I come back to the top layer. So I search for, I navigate to see, and for this shape here, this is the shape I am searching for. So I will copy the layer style, the drop shadow layer style, and I will paste the layer style here to the two rectangles, the two last rectangles I create in the bottom of my page. I paste the drop shadow effect. I will edit it, of course, add more opacity to it, make it looks more realistic and more visible. Like you can notice, there is a huge difference between before applying the effects and after applying it. I come back to this layer here. I think I should move this car a little to make it look great with our design. I come back to the top layer. I create an empty layer and I will use the pen tool to create this kind of shape. So be attentive, placing the points, the first one here, the second one here, a third one here, like this. So I think here. So a fourth one will be here exactly to get this kind of shape. Great. So we will change its color, of course, first. So this blue one we will choose, or I think we will choose this gray blue one we are using in our flyer from the beginning. So we choose this color and we will play a little with the opacity. We will try to play with the opacity. So we change a little the size using Ctrl T from the keyboard, and we will play a little with the opacity, make it less visible to get this great effect. And we create another copy from it using Ctrl G from the keyboard, and we move the new copy a little to the bottom. So we create the copy like this, and we will change its color to the red one to be visible. So I will move it like this. I will place it here and move it a little to the right like this to get a very handy effect that you will see in a few moments. So I will make it more bigger using, of course, Ctrl T from the keyboard. And for now I will change its color to the same color of this one. I will try to make it more lighter like this, and I will play with the opacity another time to get like you will see this very great effect here in the right of the top of our flyer. We get this great effect. So you can put there your logo, your text, your society or agency name. So for now I will create another copy of the new model's text, this text here. I will create a new copy using Ctrl G from the keyboard, and I will move it and push it to the top to make it the first layer as the top of all the layers. And using the move tool I will move it and place it in the shapes I just create. I will change its name, of course, to rent car. It will be the title, rent a car, the title of our flyer. And using the move tool and the direction keys from the keyboard, I will move my layer and make it in the right place. Like you can see, we get a very handy and very wonderful and professional parts of design here, which is very accurate with the whole things we are doing from the beginning of our design. We get the same coloring and the same kind of shapes, using, of course, rectangles to make them look as a triangle sometimes. And now for now we will use this logo or this barcode image. I will place it here in this place. I will resize it using Ctrl T from the keyboard, and I will zoom in to see things clearly. I will resize it and I will move it using the direction keys from the keyboard to place it exactly in the center of my rectangle, of my green rectangle. So I will resize the rectangle a little, and I will resize the barcode, and I will move it using the direction keys from the keyboard until it is positioned in exactly in the center. I am searching for the center, so I think now it's okay. So now I will come back to this rectangle, I will resize it and make it looks behind the first one like this. Very good for now. So I think now everything is okay. I will make a zoom out to see things how it looks. So I think I should just place this text a little to the bottom, and I should make the new models text and our services text more bigger. So I search for them in the layers panel here until find them. You can, of course, while searching for a layer, you can make it visible at any time and make it hidden, so you can see as the real time which is the layer you are searching for. With this technique you can find your layer very quickly and very easy. So we come back and we select the 4 layers together with the ellipse. Of course, the ellipse should be selected like this, and using control from the keyboard we can of course make the whole things bigger together, because we selection all the layers together using the control key from the keyboard, we make them bigger. And now we come back to the new models text, also we will make it more bigger using control T from the keyboard another time, and using the move tool I will position the text in the right place for it like this. Great, now we get our design looks great, of course. And now we search for the top layer. We navigate to see every layer in our design. So we are searching for the 2 cars layers. I select them, I will make them just a little bigger like this and push them a little to the left. Very nice now. So this is the last retouch I think we should add. Alright guys, I wish you enjoyed this useful tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to get the tutorials coming up. If you have any issues installing the software or applying today's lesson, just leave me a comment and I will reply to help you. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorials.